And then I'll be able to cut some more out if I want to, or just cover it with the hair that's going to come along here. All right, so let's get his mouth. Now let's do his other eye first. Okay, so got to guesstimate where his other eye is because we're trying to get the bridge of the nose there. And if I know Captain's eyeball, it's a little bit lower set than the other one. So again, you just take a little bit at a time. Get a little bit of a curve there at the end. Ta-da! Found his eyeball. Okay, so got to clean this up a little bit. I want to keep that bridge right there. All right. Yeah, now we're getting the formation of his mask just a little bit. Now, I try to cover up his eyebrow. I like that one part of his eyebrow is showing and the other one is covered up over here. So I'm going to lower this end just a tad. There you go. I know this is super exciting. I can hear my clock ticking. Reminding me how boring this is, but somebody wanted to see it, so there you go. All right. Okay, let's finish this bad boy up. Camera keeps petering out on me because I don't have enough space, so didn't really do much since the last filming. Just doing a little bit of cleanup on things. So what I need to do now is I need to find his mouth. And his mouth should be some kind of a slant, almost like a smile that I'm going to notch out here. I want it a little bit, I want it lower than his nose, but I want to find it first. Let's see what we can do. Looks like I'm close. It's like I can see part of his mustache. I'm going to like angle this off. Try and open it up just a hair. Yeah, I can see it there. Yeah, I didn't do too bad in finding these today. Right. Okay, clean that out, drop it down just a little bit. All right. And kind of just pat it around with your finger, round it up a little bit. So you can see his look there. This part's bothering me. You can even wet your X-Acto knife. That should help clean up some of the stuff a little bit easier. So you round your edges or flatten them out a little bit more. Okay, that didn't look too bad, right? Comparatively. Might take a little bit more of that right hand side here. Let's see. Sorry, big fat hand blocking it. Yeah, I get a little bit better. I want to pinch up his nose a little bit. All right, so fairly close. Yeah, there's one part. His, if I can find some that's still moldy. I didn't like how much is showing up here, so I'm going to take some of my old stuff. Wet my finger. I'm going to blend it in. And I'll come back with this. I'll look again. The corner's a little more rounded. Sorry. There we go. It's not so pointy as it was. Get out of here. What are you doing? Stupid wire. Okay. What do you think? I know, perfect, right? Yeah, probably not. I'm not worried about too much about this overhang here. It's going to cover with his hair. And it's just that simple. Now, thinking I might take, yeah, let's trim that up there. Stand up there, Mickey. So I need to make is Mickey from Rocky. I already got Mr. T. Let's trim it a little more. Bob Ross, I'm not. I understand. It's alright, don't make fun of me. And so I know where his hairline needs to go. Let's trim that off. Actually got his eye open because that's where his hair is going to be. I'm going to leave that though. Let's curve this around. There we go. So when his hair comes on, it's still got this curve to it. When his hair comes on, I'll just mold it around and on top of this. I'm not too worried about it being a little bit different if you look at where he's pointing there on his face. All right, just that simple. That's how you do face masks. All right, I'll probably keep this going too so you can see the end result when it's all said and done. Hopefully I have original Mankind here soon. So I was only going to make this a mask video, but I'm going to keep going with this anyway. So for those of you who only wanted to see how I did a mask, you can just get out right now. Otherwise, if you want to stick around, then you can. So I just swapped out hands on Captain Lou. I swapped them out for Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, I think. Let me think. Yeah, some Steamboat hands, because actually I have a Sting over here that I did, and I just swapped these boys' hands. That's all I did. Because he's going to be Mankind, I want him to have the mandible claw ready to come out at him. So next step that I'm going to do after I clear my throat disgustingly is I'm going to work on his shirt. So that way I'm going to have to cut off this part here, and then I'm going to have to extend it because he's going to have that brown shirt that he normally does. So that'll be the next, excuse me. That'll be the next thing that I do with my epoxy. So I'll get that ready and then I'll start sculpting that out. All right, here I am on Mankind, part 2. At least the original Mankind. So what I did is, which I need to go back over because I mucked it up a little bit. I worked on his kind of tunic to give it kind of like the torn up look. And then I handled it again. I think I mushed it all up, so I'll have to try it again. And then I added his hands on with his wristbands. And then I worked on his face a little bit more. I put on his hair. And I left that bald spot right there. Because that's what he had on his mask. And I just took a little tool that I had and kind of smoothed it out. It did look a little bit better. So what I'll do when I paint it is I'll put that as the flesh color, and then that way it's showing out of his mask like the rest of it. And then just did his strap. Doesn't look perfectly clean, but that's okay because you can just say that his hair is coming up over it. And then the rest of his hair. And I just did that with this end of the tool. And he should be ready to dry for a little bit and then paint. I'll probably paint his pants right now because I want to see if I can find a brown tone. If I quit mushing them all over the place, a brown tone that'll go with it. Dang it, sit still. But anyways, he really shouldn't take that long to paint, and should be fairly simple. We'll go over the flesh tones a little bit because his hands don't match, so I'll have to do that. But I'll work on his pants now. So there you go. All right, so I finished Mankind. Let me get this one out of the way. There we go. Got the old mandible claw going. Got his little thumb thing on top there. Whatever weirdo symbol he had going. And there's his mask. So I now have the 4 Foleys together that I've made, and I don't think I can think of another one to do, and I don't really want to. I'm done. So hopefully you've enjoyed this, and got any spare Captain Lou's around there? Go ahead and make some McFoleys. All right, so I finished Mankind. Let me get this one out of the way. There we go. Got the old mandible claw going. Got his little thumb thing on top there. Whatever weirdo symbol he had going. And there's his mask. So I now have the 4 Foleys together that I've made, and I don't think I can think of another one to do, and I don't really want to. I'm done. So hopefully you've enjoyed this, and got any spare Captain Lou's around there? Go ahead and make some McFoleys.